going to apply the VBT to study this complex, right? Now, just quickly, just try to name this complex. This is hexaene chromium, right? And three iron. This is a cationic complex and a homoleptic complex. Now cationic because the complex is bearing a positive charge. Homoleptic why? Homoleptic why? Because it is having the same type of ligand. The coordination number here is 6 and the central metal atom or the ion is chromium here. So now when we apply the VBT here, so first of all we will write down the outermost electronic configuration of the chromium atom. Right now you know that chromium, it is having Z equals to 24. Now you will write down its electronic configuration. So it is argon, right? 3d5 4s1, right? 18, 19 and 19 plus 5, it is 24, right? This is the stable configuration of chromium. Now students, the second step of it will be to find out the oxidation state of chromium. Now to find out the oxidation state of chromium, we know that the ammonia is a neutral ligand. So students, here you can just do it in the rough that X, chromium is X, this is ammonia, 0 into 6 equals to plus 3. So students, what you are getting the oxidation state of the chromium here, it is how much? It is 3, right? So it will be in this way, right? The oxidation state of chromium will come to be plus 3. Now students, you will just find out the electronic configuration of which ion of chromium, 3 positive, right? So it will be how much? 3 positive, it will be 3d. So one electron will go from 4s1 and 2 from this d5, right? So we are getting 3d3 4s 0 configuration of chromium. Hope so this is clear. Whenever we are trying to explain the complex through VBT, we will first find out the oxidation state of central metal atom or ion, right? So after finding that, we have calculated out to be plus 3. Now keep all this thing in mind. Since it is a metal, it will always get the oxidation state in positive, right? So here it is plus 3. Second step will be to write down the electronic configuration, valence shell electronic configuration of the central metal ion in its ground state and in its excited state. That means when it is getting the charge on it, 3 positive. Now students, we will just draw the diagram, right, for the hybridization. So we will first write down the chromium in its ground state, right? So here we can see that we have valence shell. We write only plot here the valence shell configuration. So we are having 3D, right? This is 3D subshell and this is 4s and this is 4p, right? So we have plotted 3D, 4s and 4p. We are plotting only the valence shell valence shell orbitals here. Now how many electrons are there in 3D subshell? It is 5. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And in 4s subshell we have 1 electron. Right? Now we will write down the chromium in the excited state. Or we can say here that we are writing the configuration for 3 positive here, right? That is in this way. Either you can write it is in this way or you can write down Cr 3 positive. Now students, here we are getting 4s getting empty, 4p was already empty here, right? And in 3D we will have 1, 2 and 3. So one electron from 4s has gone and two electrons from here, getting the d orbitals, two vacant orbitals from d subshell, one vacant orbital from s subshell, and 4p we have the vacant orbitals only. Now the third step, this was a step of writing the ground state configuration, then the oxidation state, right? Now next we will just write down the hybridization which is we are finding here, which is getting involved, right? So how many atomic orbitals will be involved in the hybridization will depend upon the coordination number of the central metal ions. Since it is 6 here, we can see here we have got it here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right. So next step is the chromium in the hybrid state. So you will see here that the hybrid state which we are getting here is S. Here it is, sorry, D. Here we are getting two d orbitals, it is d2 sp3. Right students, how we are getting this d2 sp3? We are having here d subshell, d orbitals of the third shell, right? So it is, we are getting here as d2 sp3 hybrid orbitals, or these are the showing the hybridization d2 sp3, right? And now the last step will be to show the complex form. So here we are just plotting it now. We show it in this way, and from each or ligand we are getting two electrons or one electron pair. That means this pair is given by one ammonia ligand. This pair is given by another ammonia ligand. This one by the third ammonia molecule. This is fourth. This is fifth. And this is sixth. Right students, so in total we have got 6 ammonia ligands, and each ammonia molecule is giving one electron pair to this central metal ion, right? So I think this is clear to you, because here we are using the hybridization concept only. This chromium central metal ion will first write down its ground state configuration, right? Then we are writing its excited state, or when it is getting the oxidation state, right? It has got 3 plus 3 oxidation state, so we got 3 electrons removed from it. And whenever we are removing electron, we will first remove from the outer shell is 4s, and then step by step from the 3d. Then the hybridization will take place, it is d2sp3, and then the last step will be showing the complex formation, where in each vacant orbitals which is been available for the ligand, right, it is going to donate, it is going to give it electron pair, right, and it will form a coordinate covalent bond. Now after drawing the hybridization, showing the hybridization, right, we are now coming to the characteristic of this complex, which we have come to know after going through this. So first one is that the hybridization involved is d2sp3 hybridization. So the hybridization involved is d2sp3. Now the second one is the D subshell which is getting involved, student. Now just think that which orbital it is belonging. It is belonging to ND or N minus 1D. So what is N here? It is 4. So the D subshell which is getting involved is N minus 1, that is 3. right? So it is inner. So this is forming inner orbital complex. Now it is depending upon which d subshell is getting involved, right? N minus 1 or ND, right? It will be known as the inner or outer orbital complexes, right? So it is inner orbital complex. Now, since it is D2sp3 hybridization, it will be forming. You can see how many vacant orbitals were available. It was 6, so it is going to form the octahedral geometry. And next, students, now you will see that though these all are paired because they have been provided from the ligand, right? Now you will see the electrons which are present in the 3D subshell, right, of the central metal line. What you can see here, you can see they all are unpaired, right? That means it is paramagnetic in nature, right? This is about the magnetic property. And the last, students, now since the inner orbital complex, right? So whenever it is an inner orbital complex, now it has been told that if it is an inner orbital complex, in such complex, the number of the unpaired electron is always less. So it will be forming a low spin complex, right? Which has got less number of unpaired electron, right? This is for the central. Unpaired electron will be of central metal ion, right? Now the low spin complex are complexes which are formed, which are the inner orbital complex. They are mainly known as the low spin complex, as the number of the unpaired electrons in the central metal ion is always less. So it will be known as low spin complex. Now students, these are the characteristic of this complex, that is CrNH3 whole 6 3 positive, that it will undergo the D2sp3 hybridization. It forms the inner orbital complex, as the orbitals which are involved is n minus 1d. It's form an octahedral complex or show octahedral geometry because the coordination number here is 6 and the hybridization which is shown is D2sp3. It is paramagnetic nature because the electrons of the metal ion are unpaired here, and it forms a low spin complex as it is inner orbital complex, and it has got the less number of the unpaired electrons. So students, we have to practice this. Few more examples we are going to discuss.